Good afternoon, Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise. I'm doing a salvage title inspection today in a 2015 Chrysler Town & Country. This inspection was requested by LOC Federal Credit Union. LOC is willing to loan money on salvage and rebuilt title cars. I'm not sure what the title status of this vehicle is. I believe it's actually rebuilt. But either way, the car's been wrecked and repaired, and I'm doing an inspection for the client today. We're doing a little more than a basic insurance or loan appraisal and a little less than a pre-purchase inspection. Just took it for a test drive down the road, and so I could accumulate some notes and put a video together that the owner could comprehend before they extend themselves and purchase it. Generally speaking, on a salvage title or rebuilt title vehicle, the bank wants to make sure that they're putting money out there on a vehicle that they can recoup should it happen to come back to them. So this exploded view can be freeze framed for the potential buyer and or the bank to see, digital paint meter readings throughout, and just general flaws depicted and or what type of damage I can see was repaired or parts replaced in a limited field inspection. Overall, the vehicle looks good and the color match is nice. The power doors seem to operate as intended, left and right, and power deck release goes up and down, turn signals are working appropriately, etc. There are a few various paint scratches, scuffs, chips from some of the repair work that was done. This side had received the most amount of repaint work. This quarter panel back here, side of the body, 17 on readings, where generally we get 7 to 9. Some repair work there have eventually blended its way up into this door on the passenger side, and then we start getting back down to 9.5, 9.5, 10.0. That door probably was re-cleared, although they missed a few scratches right in here, or those are new scratches since the repair work was done. Got a long narrow scratch right here and a scratch on the passenger front fender. That's way down to 3.5 because that fender got changed. The other fender reads the same way, 2.5 down in here, so there's just a thin coat of paint on that. A little bit of mismatch in the fender to the bumper cover fitment, which I believe was replaced as well. You can see this fender went back and went into the A-pillar. There's chips that have just been brush touched up on that side of the A-pillar, 11.5. The hood had some damage to the liner on the inside, and 5.5 on the meter would suggest that the hood got changed as well. This fender we have the same condition, 4.0, so that's a new thin coat of paint. And then getting around to the driver's side, 24 on the door. We know that that door has been repainted a bunch, a little bit of contamination here and there throughout. But one of the other telltale signs is it was a used door off of a 2011 or 2012 unit, and this is a 2015. So there you have it. Used door, it's got a little chip already on it, a scratch here on the passenger door, little scuff, little scratch, scuff, scratch, scuff. But we're running down this side, and we're back down to 10.5, 9.0. So now we're back down to factory readings and or factory readings plus some clear, 9.5. So I think back here we haven't really been touched on these two doors. That's my opinion. Fenders changed, hood changed, rear bumper cover is scratched up, so I don't believe that has been changed as well. Some chips back here. But it's mostly cosmetic. This is probably where the vehicle got shoved at an insurance auction with a front end loader. They just kind of pushed on it, and there's a few scrapes under the vehicle to confirm that. So cosmetically, a few bumps and gouges and nicks, but the color match looks nice. What do you think? I don't think I'd be worried about looking like I had too many shades of blue. A little bit heavier texture in the orange peel along this quarter panel and into that door, but nothing that is, horrific. Here we got some chips on the wheels, and there's another one that's a little bit worse. I think it's the driver's side front, else they're in pretty good shape. I took a wheelbase measurement all the way down the side of the vehicle, and back in the parking lot where we're coming up with, let me go all the way back here, 139, and again, rough field measurement. But here's where the proof in the pudding lies, 139.5. On the other side, I was getting a reading of about 3/8 less. So this wheelbase is a little longer on the passenger side. I haven't noticed it wheel hopping or doing anything unusual. Seems to be steering straight without doing any bump steering, which I think is important. Right here, a quick measurement tells us that this wheel's got a little more space behind the tire than the driver's side. I've got a tight 3 fingers there and a loose on the passenger side. So again, these are rough field measurements. This wheel's a little beat up cosmetically. Another scratch here. Scuffed mirror. There's something loose inside the hood when I pick it up. Maybe a bolt or washer got shoved up in there and it's rattling in the hood. They reused a used hood pad that's got a scuff in it. So searching back through here, this inner apron structure is still a little bit bent up. I've got better still photos with flash photography to show the potential buyer. So you can see there was a little bit of damage left over that wasn't tended to. All of these bolts have been moved and reused. The air cleaner box was replaced, but it's not fixed down. It needs to be tied down properly, and the inlet hose is missing down here. This stuff was replaced. There's not a single dead bug in the air conditioning condenser. Now granted, it only has about 8,000 miles on it, but we'd have one dead butterfly, wouldn't we? Got a little bit of firewall pad damage there. A little bit of hood prop rod scuffing, so that probably got reused. Headlights, I believe, have been changed. Fan surround, I believe, has been changed. Grill and front bumper, I believe, have been changed. We got a little bit of a paint drip or a contusion down there on the bumper. Hard to see. Apron structure over here looks better. There's been some disassembly in there. Down here on our lower frame rail extensions coming back, we've got full paint on that rail, including the side of the rail underneath the lines. Over here we don't have much paint coverage on the inside of this front frame rail extension, which would normally get painted before the drivetrain was put in. We got a broken clip on the AC line unit here that ties this down. So again, and we got some clamped together. The wiring harness has been opened and taped up a little bit. So we know that the majority of the damage happened down this passenger side. But the lines fit together pretty nice. The field measurement on the back end of this push-in tab up to the line on the tire gave me just over 4 inches on this side and about 3.5 on the other. So 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Up here, structurally speaking, I don't see where the control arms have been changed, left or right. There is the possibility that used components were put in. You can see some scuff damage on the oil pan, probably where it got scraped by the loader, getting picked up. And there's a crease in the muffler and a crease in the floor tub in the back. They're not too exciting, I won't bother showing them, but no oil pouring out of the transmission pan or the oil pan, nothing on the ground that I can see. Down around the side of the vehicle, here's the damaged exhaust. The pinch welds, which normally get clamped down if there's some heavy frame damage getting pulled on, they look pretty good. Nothing really extensive there to write home about. Here's the dents in the floor tubs. Otherwise, the floor structure is still pretty clean. Lines are pretty clean. Looking side to side on this pinch weld here, you can see where it's been taken apart. It wasn't really grabbed. If it was grabbed with a frame machine, that part's been cut off and disappeared. you can see a section that's been added right here to the rocker panel along the floor structure, and you can see here the pinch weld is straight going towards the back of the driver's side tire. That's where I'm at right now. And then coming forward, boom, 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 there we were cut and spliced. And then looking down there for straightness, it's pretty straight. So definitely that rocker got sectioned in, so there was some damage on the driver's side as well. These clips are missing out of this rocker trim piece, and they're not exactly lined up. You could probably re-drill some holes and fix that problem, or slide these clips down. Right now they're not lined up to hold, so that could be rattling going down the road. That, or they might have welded this piece in half an inch off. The inner structure though is original. If you look up there a little higher, there we go, it's better light. Up there where they welded to, or bonded to, it looks decent. Don't see any kick in at the torque box. Frame rail looks pretty good. So I think we had some physical damage at this door jamb, which is why the driver's door got replaced. And that repair line is right here on the outside, just behind the driver's door line. Right there. Alright, well, it took a little digging to discover it, but only about 10 minutes to explain it. And there we have it. I think we've got a pretty decent rebuilt or salvage title van that still needs just a little bit of detail and attention given to the items I just suggested, and perhaps there's a few more. Carpet could stand to be cleaned up here. Back here on the driver's side rear door, there's still some decal and some overspray evidence on the jamb where some repaint work was done. The unit's equipped really nice, stow and go leather, and it's really not worn out or damaged. Probably was a rental vehicle, I would imagine. Got drop down DVDs, the pair of them, overhead air conditioning controls. Let's turn that down. And the carpets smell pretty clean. Power windows and locks are all working. On startup we have all of our lights going through, cycling, and then boom, everything's off. We've got a low tire sensor light that was on a minute ago. It'll probably come back up, 8,082 miles. And we're low on gas, so I won't be able to go too far. I've already gone a mile or two, hands off the wheels. I'm not really here to check every option on the vehicle. That's really up to the owner that's purchasing the vehicle. I check the basics. Power steering, brakes feel good, cruise control works, air conditioning is blowing cold, and we're getting down to 59, I think is what it was. 80 right now, but that's because I don't have it on. Anyway, it dropped down in temperature in a hurry. Turn signals are functioning from the inside. Backup camera's working. So as far as I know, the majority of the features, I checked the one key fob with the vehicle, and the power doors go up and down and backwards and forwards as they should. Take it down the road one more time, do a hands off the wheel and brake test, and we'll call it good. Seems to be pretty quiet inside. Gauges appear to function with no issues, and my hands are doing about 40 there, hands off the wheel. Seems to track pretty straight. I'm going to jam the brakes on here. Just a little bit of shudder to the rotors, but nothing real bad. That mirror might have been replaced because it's got a bunch of bubble wrap dots all over it that they need to clean off it. This one had a scuff on it. I did not try the heated mirrors. I'll leave that up to the buyers, and some of the other small items, power mirrors, etc. That all needs to be addressed. Windshield's very clean, very clear. No chips, nicks, or scratches. Not sure if it's been replaced. Passing gear does work. Had it up to 60 a minute ago. Clock appears to be operating. Generally speaking, it seems to drive without any blatant issues. May be wise to get a hoisted full-blown frame inspection, you know, not just a tape measure field inspection, but that'll be up to the client purchasing it based on seeing this video and deciding whether or not they feel there's a need to do that. The client has already come down and driven the vehicle, so their initial cursory opinion was it was good enough to inspect. All right, Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise on behalf of LOC, Federal Credit Union, wrapping up a loan inspection and appraisal on a salvage or rebuilt title 2015 Chrysler Town and Country. The vehicle seems to be a fairly clean vehicle, has had some repairs, a little bit of contamination in the paint showing, still definitely a handful of nicks and scratches that were not necessarily addressed, and some repaint work. Nothing is really substandard. Certainly a good driver quality unit. It's bright out here. I can't tell if I was just recording, but in case I wasn't, Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise. 800-301-3886 is our number if you need a salvage or rebuilt title inspection done. Not for the purposes of gaining title, but for the purposes of finding out what the vehicle's like and if it's worth owning and driving, etc. That's what we do. Got about 300 guys on the ground nationwide, but I do these inspections solely here in Michigan and the northern Ohio, northern Indiana area. If you need inspection work like this, let me know. Call my office. And we'll be happy to assist. Thanks for hanging out today. Have a nice day.